it's just so special for our club, mate, our club.
Lastly, after 57 years of pain, it's coming home.
Hey there, TJ here, and welcome to the D's, where I'm reviewing one of the easiest wins I think I've ever seen in my life. Our round 7 clash against North Melbourne at the MCG on the 29th of April 2023. Yeah, it was an absolute smashing. This game was over pretty much within 10 minutes, like maybe even 5, because they just didn't put any defensive pressure on us at all. So a really nice easy one, and we'll get stuck into it shortly. But the big news during the week was Alex Neil-Bullen signed for 3 more years. But I'll tell you what, the bigger news dropped today, because Kozzy Pickett has signed for 4 more years at the D's. That's amazing, keeping him at the club until the end of 2027. And he'll be only 25 when he gets to the end of that contract. I'm absolutely wrapped with this news. I'm so excited about it. I'm sure you all are as well. It's just so good to put that panic in the revision mirror. You know, we didn't want a repeat of Luke Jackson leaving and having that sort of drama all throughout the year. So to get this done nice and early and to keep it around is good. I was speaking with my dad, and he's like, maybe what's going on with Jackson at Fremantle is actually a deterrent for people to leave us. You know, the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and despite as much as Luke Jackson is reportedly getting paid, it's probably not worth it to have your name and face on the back page of the paper every week getting slandered. So yeah, that's the big news for the week. Happy days, Kozzy Pickett signed for 4 more years. Let's get into the team. So we continue to experiment with our forward line for this game. Weirdly enough, the AFL website's doing the same thing as last week, where it's removed the person that's been subbed off from the list. So that's meant to be Michael Hibberd's name there. That's missing next to Stephen May. Angus Brayshaw's 150th game, and it's been a great 150 games for him at the club. You know, he's had quite a few injury issues with his concussions, so for him to get to 150 is fantastic. Harrison Petty got a knock during the week and was ruled out with concussion from this game. Simon Goodwin said he'll be back next week. So Josh Schache came in for him, and then Bailey Laurie came out for James Harmes to be the sub. James Jordan coming into the interchange bench for this game. So we continue to play around a little bit with our forward line. Tom McDonald and Ben Brown not really showing enough in the VFL prior to this week to come back in, so Schache got his shot, and I think he didn't do too bad for the game. So let's get stuck into the game. So the game kicks off, and we pretty much take it by the throat straight away. Chandler kicks the first goal of the game within 46 seconds with a really, really nice snap. Bailey Fritsch is able to follow up with 2 goals in quick succession. We've kicked 3 goals within 4 minutes 20 of game time, and already on top. It's been pointed out throughout the week by Kane Corns how soft and pathetic the efforts were in the first 5 minutes of this game by North Melbourne, and it is definitely true. You'd think that at least put the effort in at the start of the game, but you could see that they weren't chasing, they weren't putting the extra effort in to try and cut down on the space between the attacking players and their defenders. So it was just easy for us to just knock these goals on. Kozzy kicked our 4th in like 6 minutes, and then Tom Sparrow took a really, really great strong mark overhead to then kick our 5th in very, very, very quick succession. Shortly after this mark, Charlie Comden lands awkwardly on his leg with all of his body weight on top of it and snaps the lower part of his leg. They didn't show the replay at the ground, so I quickly got KO up and had a quick flick through and had a watch. And if you want to see the incident, it's still up on KO. You can watch it on as if it was live, but it's it's pretty gruesome watching someone's leg snap back like that. It's, definitely one of my most hated injuries to see on the field is a leg break. He's in a lot of strife, this guy, so he'll be out for the rest of the year. Only 21 years old, which is really, really stiff, and the stretcher comes out, so we have a bit of time to just wait for the stretcher to come out and put him on there. We're 5 goals up already, 8 minutes into this game, and we score through Brodie Grundy shortly after play recommences and get 6 goals up in front. It basically took them half an hour for Cam Zerha to get this goal on the board, and that's their only goal. For the quarter, we go on to kick two more through Bailey Fritsch and Cozzy Pickett, and the Bailey Fritsch goal came from a really, really nice mark from Shaki up on the 50 metre, and then he was able to hit up Bailey Fritsch in the pocket with some nice kicking. And I did notice that he actually had some pretty decent field kicking throughout the game when he had those opportunities. So Fritsch kicked his third for the quarter, and then Cozzy goes on to kick his second of the quarter before the quarter runs out. I did prefer Cozzy's first goal, where he had just smashed it from 50 metres. In the end, it was one of the easiest quarters to watch. I just sat back and just laughed as we just smashed them. We kicked 8 goals to 50 points to North's 1 goal, 6, and we won the quarter by 44 points, 50-6. And go into the second quarter, which starts off with a Trent Rivers goal coming from a double 50-metre penalty. Jaden Stevenson didn't take a duty of care into trying to tackle Trent Rivers. Trent Rivers had his head over the ball, and Jaden Stevenson just runs straight into him, and you can't do that. The free kick's fair enough. You just can't run in with your knees into someone's head over the ball, and I hate when these don't get paid. There's been a few incidences where these haven't been paid for us in the past, and I'm very, very glad to see that one get paid. And then Jaden Stevenson dissents twice to Ray Chamberlain, which is really, really ridiculous. And it's really funny that people are thinking that Ray Chamberlain put his hand up and said talk to the hand as he ran off. Actually, when you signal for dissent, the signal for dissent is putting your hand up like that, and you signal the free kick. So a talk to the hand signal is actually a signal for dissent. So that's what he was calling the 54, and he had to signal that twice. But yeah, Rivers goals, and we're up by 8 goals at this stage. Kay Chandler gets his second here, another beautiful goal. And we get 10 goals on the board before Nikolaki is able to kick their second. At this stage, we're in the lead by 50 points. And then Tom Sparrow, we had a fantastic game today. I thought he was really important, had some really nice field kicking around the ground, hit some people. Just had some really good vision when he was on the field, running into great spaces, putting on good pressure. Hits Christian Petrarca up with a mark inside 50 to put through his first goal of the game. And it was a tough kick too. Christian Petrarca would generally have missed them in seasons past, but he's worked so much on his goal kicking, and snags that one through on his way to 3 goals for the game, but that's his first one there. Alex Neil-Bullen with probably my favourite goal of the day, where I'm pretty sure it was Jai Simpkin, just took way too much time with the ball, and AMB is able to tackle him from behind, gets the free kick, and just run into the goal square and smash through another one. It was just absolute domination here. Cozzy, towards the end of this quarter, is able to kick our 13th goal, which Bailey Fritsch helped shepherd through, and it was really awesome that he did that. Bailey's had a lot of detractors in the past, and some actions that make him look very, very goal selfish and goal hungry, so it was nice for him to do the team thing here and just shepherd it through. So for that quarter, we kicked 5-1-31 to North's 1-3-9. We won the quarter by 22 points and are leading at half time, and that's just it's an 11 goal lead. We kicked 13-3 to 2-3 in a half, which is very, very impressive. So I was very happy with the way that we went into that first half and just showed no mercy to the Kangaroos. But I feel like we really put the cue in the rack after half time for this third quarter and just kind of chugged along for a little bit. 4 minutes into this third quarter, Christian Petrarca kicks his second and our 14th from the game, from the stoppage right at the top of the square, because for some reason no one from North wanted to man him up. He's one of the best players in the comp, and he's just standing there free at a stoppage at the top of our goal square. If it was their goal square, I would understand him not being there, not being manned up or something. But in a dangerous position like that, North just pay, and it's just those stupid little mistakes that make this go from a 50-point game to a 90-point game. Fritsch kicks his fourth. 2 minutes later after that, after Van Rooyen sits one on top of his head, Bailey Fritsch is able to tap it sort of forward to him, gather it up and snap with zero pressure, even though there was someone right next to him in that marking contest. Clarkey goes on to break our 5-goal streak, and then the Roos are able to kick 2 in a row after a holding free kick is paid against us for the second one. This cuts the margin to 72 points. Oh no. Jacob Van Rooyen kicks in a really, really nice goal from about 40 metres out in the pocket, and yeah, that's our 16th with 5 minutes to go in this quarter, and that's the last goal of the third quarter. Nice for Van Rooyen to get on the board. I'm pretty sure I said it last week, but I'm really in love with his kicking action, so I just want him to keep launching at the ball and getting more opportunities, because he makes the most of them when he goes forward, and it's really fantastic. We kicked 3-1-9 to North's 2-3-15. It's been the closest quarter for the game, winning that one by 4 points, taking our lead to 70 points as we stepped into the fourth quarter, and did step it up a little bit with our first goal coming 5 minutes into the quarter through Christian Petrarca. Another mark in the forward line, and kicks the set shot. At this point in the game, very early into the fourth quarter, he's already got 30 disposals and 3 goals. Jack Viney snaps our 18th goal of the game, and just how much has his kicking for goal improved? It just adds that extra level of dangerousness to him by him hitting the scoreboard. Like, he's already a contested beast. He's already going to bash and crash you and make sure that you are sore the next day. And now he's added this goal kicking string to his bow. Yeah, he's just gone another level. There's so many players that have improved for Melbourne this year, and we're really seeing it gel. And there's these sort of games against lowly opposition where you do get that to gel. Geelong have just done it by smashing a couple of teams in a row, West Coast being one of them, and got their mojo back, and now you can see that we're really going to start to gel and get it together, as we have North this game. We've got Gold Coast the week after, and North on the week after that. Chandler gets his 3rd goal for the game in this fourth quarter after James Hart and Cosy Pickett connected on the wing. Harms was able to jump on as a sub, with Michael Hibberd coming off, probably just having a bit of a rest with that Achilles issue that he's dealing with this year. But Harms was able to just do a couple of nice things, but not really have a huge impact. So our last couple of goals for this game is we get one through Josh Shuckey, another one through Jake Bowie. He just smashes it from just inside the 50-metre line. It was a really, really nice goal to cap off a really nice game for Jake Bowie. Took us over the 100-point margin there, and then Brodie Grundy took a really, really nice big mark in the forward line, kind of stealing one off Van Rooyen. He looked like he had the sit just behind him. Grundy's not really known for his marking, that's more of Max's thing, but he was able to take 2 here, and this is our biggest lead of the game at 108 points there. But unfortunately, it does end up a little bit disappointing, and this is really the only disappointment I have for this game, is these last 3 goals. The first one with Cam Zurhaar was from a really dodgy free kick for in the back against Max. I don't think that was there. I think it was a really soft free kick, and maybe even a pity free kick from the umpire. But they sort of rolled that into 2 more goals right at the end, with Liam Shields and Ben Cunnington kicking a goal on the siren. And Stephen May is pissed. He looks angry and really upset. And if you are really upset about not hitting the very trivial 100-point win, then at least take consolation in knowing that the players were pissed off about it too, or at least Stephen May was. So yeah, the last 3 goals are kind of unacceptable, but when you're, running out and winning a game by 90 points, I'm not going to care. We kicked 6 goals, 39 that quarter to North's 3-1-9, and all 3 of those goals were in that last 5-minute little period. We won the quarter by 20 points and won the game by 90. Who cares? We increased our percentage by over 15%, and we're temporarily top of the ladder before Collingwood got that awesome win against the Crows. Having a look at the team stats, and we absolutely demolished them in disposals. I was very surprised to see that the kicks ended up even, but you just look at our handball game, and we really got our handball game going, and we just ping-ponged the ball all around. Disposal efficiency was pretty good. The Kangaroos are just above AFL average there, and we were over our average, which is very preferable. Efficiency inside 50, I am very satisfied seeing the Kangaroos down at 27.5%. That just showed how good our defence were at rebounding from all of their inside 50s. Free kick count was a lot more tolerable this week. Almost half of what we saw last week against Richmond was just utterly ridiculous. Dominated hit-outs, clearances. Whilst even across the game, we were a little bit better around the ground and broke even in the centre clearances, but we were much better on the post clearance. Contested possessions, absolutely smashed them by 32. Uncontested, smashed them as well by 32. So if you're getting smashed by 60 plus possessions, you're not going to be able to do much. Our turnovers were slightly under our AFL average, which is nice. North Melbourne had a lot of marks, but that was generally from them just switching and wasting time, with only 9 of those 124 marks being inside 50. And you know, when you're smashing a team by that much in possessions, they should probably be ahead in the tackle count, but we were ahead in the tackle count as well. So that's really pathetic by North Melbourne, and really, really sad to see. 15 tackles inside 50, which is the amount that we really want to be seeing. We really want to be seeing 12 to 15 as a minimum. We scored 4 goals, 1 at 25 from centre bounces, and North scored 0. We had 3-2, 20 from ball ups around the ground, and North had 1-2, 8 from those. We scored 3-1, 19 from throw-ins. Really where it all came from was our turnover game. 10-3, 63 coming from turnover, and 2 goals coming from our kick-ins and being able to take the ball coast to coast. We kicked 15-1 from set shots. I'll repeat that again. We kicked 15-1 from set shots and 7 goals 2 from general play. So our kicking is just gone through the roof. It is a big improver for us, and we should be really, really happy with that. Of course, to no surprise, Christian Petrarca leading the metres gained again. Cozzy Pickett also having an awesome game with 431. Getting some time throughout the middle of the ground. Jack Viney, Michael Hibberd, Jake Bowie, Tom Sparrow, Max Gawn, Clayton Oliver all doing pretty well there. Clayton Oliver with 37 disposals and 17 of them being kicks, with 7 marks and 3 tackles as well. Christian Petrarca 35 disposals and 3 goals, 8 marks, 3 tackles. Angus Brayshaw in his 150, probably one of his better games I've seen. 29 disposals, 14 kicks, 15 handballs, 4 marks, 88% time on ground, so he's doing plenty there. Yeah, Tom Sparrow, great game as well. He's just really, really like building as this little junior Jack Viney kind of player. Christian Petrarca had 14 score involvements, which is just absolutely insane. Well, that's huge. Like if you get like 7, you've had a really good game. So to have 14, to have double that is absolutely nuts. 16 contested possessions for Petrarca, 18 uncontested, 15 contested for Clayton, 21 uncontested there. Disposal efficiency was also really good for the game, as I mentioned going throughout the team stats. We only really had 5 players for the whole game that didn't really get close to AFL average, and then we had a lot of players exceed it by quite a bit. Of course, Jacob Van Rooyen and James Harms didn't have as many disposals as other players, but Jake Bowie going at 94%, Jake Lever at 90, Hunter at 90 is just really, really, really clean footy. Real clean footy. But on to my votes, and I really struggled over who to give the 1 vote to. I had quite a few people that I could think of, but I gave it to Jake Bowie because I felt like he did some really nice things in defence and just really got comfortable in his position, had some really nice connections, really helped get our ball movement going from the half-back line, and I was just really impressed with him, so I gave him 1 vote. Gave 2 votes to Bailey Fritsch for his 4 goals, which easily could have been 5 if he hadn't shepherded through that Cozzy goal, and yeah, just for his forward craft, yeah, I gave him the 2 votes. Angus Brayshaw gets the 3 votes with a very, very nice 150th game. I just felt like he's back to his best, intercepting, and his kicking was really at a really nice level. Gave Kay Chandler the 4 votes. Felt like he was pretty important early. Just making some really nice connections, getting involved in moving the ball forward all the time, and just really, really clean with his shots on goal and getting the 3 goals there. If it wasn't for the next 2 players, it probably would have been close to best on ground, but I gave the 5 votes to Clayton Oliver, who just, even though it was an easy team, he never stopped running. He never stopped running into space to create options. He never took his foot off the pedal because it was an easy side. So I gave him the 5, which means Christian Petrarca gets the 6 for an incredible game, kicking 3 goals and having 14 score involvements and just really driving all of our scoring throughout the game. So we played the Box Hill Hawks in the VFL this week, down in Wonthaggi Recreational Reserve, which I've actually camped at one time. So if you're ever down in the Wonthaggi area and you just need to pitch a tent somewhere, you can go and like pay, I think it's a $4 donation to the Wonthaggi Footy Club and camp right next to the footy oval. So I thought that was quite funny. But yeah, the Hawks just got on top slightly in this first quarter. They kicked 3-3-21 to our 2 goals 3. It would have been a bit closer if we had been a bit more accurate, but Ben Brown was able to get the first goal before the Hawks went on a run, kicking 3 here, and then Tom McDonald got on the board just towards the end of that. And then we didn't really see too much of either of them for the kind of rest of the game, because it became the Joel Smith show. Yeah, Joel Smith was put forward, and he was able to kick a couple of goals in this quarter, and Tajra Woden also kicked 2 goals for the game. So it went Joel Smith, Tajra Woden, Joel Smith again. Matthew Jefferson gets a goal here. Joel Smith kicks his 3rd for the quarter there, and Jake Melksham then kicks a goal just before half time, before he then unleashes for the rest of the game and kicks 4 more. So Jake Melksham was definitely best on ground for this game, as he just kept going bang, bang, bang. He kicks another 2 here in this 4th quarter, getting the last 2 goals for the D's for the game. Tom McDonald with the 2nd goal here, but in between his 2 goals was just didn't seem to be able to get into it. But yeah, Jake Melksham, for my viewing, was probably best on ground. James Arms with the 27 disposals for the game. Mitch White had a good game coming back. Adam Tomlinson was okay in defence. Bailey Laurie not too bad, but yeah, Jake Melksham 19 disposals, 5 goals 3. Real solid game from him. Daniel Turner was pretty good down in defence as well. Tajra Woden did some nice things and was able to kick 2 goals. Zane Dursma playing against men here. He's a very highly touted draft choice for the upcoming draft this year, and he's decided to come and play against men instead of playing juniors, which is awesome. But he just ended up with the 12 disposals and a couple of tackles, but he'll get better as time goes there. So basically, changes this week would sort of be looking at our 2 concussed players coming back, Spargo and Petty, and it's who do you pull out for Spargo? Like, well, we know Shaki's going to be coming out for Petty, and Petty's probably still going to be playing forward at this stage, but like, you can't take out Chandler, you can't take out Pickett. Alex Neil-Born's probably not coming out for Spargo either. James Jordan's kind of filling in that role a little bit at the moment, but he's a bit of a utility, and I would have put James Jordan probably in our top 10 players on the weekend, and he is quite regularly our best tackler, so it'd be really, really stiff for him to come out of the side. But back in the top 2 where we belong, which is great. Unfortunately, Collingwood did steal the win against Adelaide with a 1-point victory yesterday, bringing them up to first position, but we are sitting here very nice in second with the best percentage in the league, which is generally what I like to judge things off, is how people are doing with their percentage and their goal kicking. We're back to the highest scoring side in the AFL, and we've done okay with 536 points behind, which I think sits about 4th or 5th at the moment. And yeah, we've got Gold Coast up in Gold Coast this week, which can be a little bit of a tricky game, but with no Tuke Miller, we should handle this very, very comfortably. So thanks for watching another episode of Yeah the D's, and I look forward to chatting more D's next week. Cheers. Bye.
Petrarca! Oh wow! How good is that? Sparrow to make it a 3-goal, 3-pointer dive. He's got it! Surely not another one. Handball to Oliver, streaming through. Bang! Bang, bang, bang! Melbourne are the premiers for 2021!
And it's just so special for our club, mate, our club.
Lastly, after 57 years of pain, it's coming home.